Hi, and welcome to Six Figure Signature Offers, the place female founders come to create businesses that deliver both peace and profit. I'm your host, Robin Birkin, online business strategist. I built my first six-figure business with a baby and a toddler working just 6 hours per week. And I grew it to multi-six figures, more than 1 million podcast downloads and 1,500 clients before returning to my true expertise and growing this business to multi-six figures in less than 15 months, all in part-time hours. The one secret weapon that's fueled both businesses, a hero signature offer. The kind of offer that turns you from just another face in your niche to the authority, makes content creation 10 times easier, and powers rinse and repeat launches with big pockets of freedom in between. My mission is simple: to help you create a scalable business model that lets you work less, earn more, and build the kind of business that actually feels good to run. So if you've ever wondered how to create easeful yet wildly successful launches, how to get off the revenue roller coaster, or how to juggle being a present parent and the breadwinning CEO, sit back, subscribe. I am so happy to have you here. Let's go. Hello and welcome back to Six Figure Signature Offers. If it feels like the podcast has been just a little sporadic lately, the behind the scenes on that is because I have truly, for the first time in many, many years, been a one-woman show. Now, I have a slight caveat to today's episode, which is that as of yesterday, I am actually now a two-woman show. So for the last whatever many years, I've hired very quickly into my business because I knew that there was no way, if I was going to run a part-time business, that I would have the capacity to do everything on my own. So really early on in the piece, I've had a Pinterest manager, I've had virtual assistants, I've had a podcast manager, and having those really aligned contractors has supported me so deeply. And I've always had contractors. It's always been my preference. But we made some decisions in the business that I wanted to, in the spirit of really leveling up and growing up. And if you want to hear a little bit more about the behind the scenes, exactly what we're planning for next year, what's coming up, where I've failed, where I've really nailed it, please subscribe to the podcast. Come and check it out. I have a number of episodes that are coming out in December and January where I'm going to take you through all of the really deep questions, the things that have worked, that haven't worked this year. Oh my God, it's going to be great. So please make sure that you're subscribed. But in the spirit of really scaling and allowing myself to scale in 2026, the spoiler alert is that this year has been a process of literally like breaking all the things in order to build them back up. One of those things was realigning the team that I had. And so as of yesterday, I have my first bona fide employee in the business on the actual payroll. We are paying for workers' compensation insurance and all of those big grown-up things that business owners do. So, I mean, who am I? And that is a really exciting chapter because I, as someone who runs a one-woman show, and this isn't even something that I have put on the list of the 4 things that I do to take time off in my business and not lose momentum. And it probably should be number 1 is I don't expect to do everything and I don't expect to do it on my own. And again, another spoiler alert, that's probably been one of my biggest lessons in 2025. But I have help and there is wild inconsistency in my schedule this year, so much more so because of the renovation on the house. And I cannot begin to explain the disruption that has caused. So to give you an example, nearly every day I have multiple trades at the house doing work. Right now we have someone doing something related to the power and the internet. So my internet is out for hours and hours this morning. Then at 2:30 today, I have someone coming to measure custom bench tops. So I will have to take some time to support them in that. So there's this constant disruption to my schedule each and every day. And so, as we get into today's episode, the 4 things I do to take time off in business and not lose momentum as a soon to be 2-woman or now 2-woman show, probably number 1, the bonus tip is that I'm not trying to do it all. And I think as women, we have the belief that if we want to have it all, that means doing it all. And please, again, subscribe to the episodes because I'm going to share more on that more deeply. But that means having support that allows me to be consistent. Here in the podcast, for example, I am batching out the episodes for December and January in one hit, and then I hand that off and I don't come back to that because that is then all done by someone else. So I'm really efficient with my time. And if the podcast has seemed sporadic, it's because that's been relying on me. And there are certain things that if it's going to be me that has to do it with the schedule, with the clients, with the other things that I'm working on, that's just not going to happen. So getting support, not doing everything on my own, having set things that happen in the business, that is number 1. So diving then into today's episode, my episode, what I teach very much is all about having one core offer and live launching that offer again and again and again. You may build in as you have the data come back and as you have refined that offer, you may then build on what I call an always on funnel. It's not quite the same as a evergreen funnel, but you may have a funnel that is essentially always on, essentially always attracting and converting clients into your ecosystem, and you'll run that alongside live launches in your business. So that is what I teach. That is what I truly believe and have seen to be the most successful way to run a business. So how do you sort of enter a pre-launch while you're in December, January school holidays and essentially wanting time off? That is the flavor of what I'm going to speak about today. So number 1, get help, but I'm going to speak about 4 other things. So number 1 thing that I do, and I especially do this and prioritize this in December and January, is I run ads. So I will run ads to my lead magnets and have those funnels that are warming people up, adding them to wait lists, converting them to calls. And so therefore my funnels and my business is not reliant on how much I am showing up on social media. It is handled for me. I think of Meta ads as one of the hardest working employees in my business. They never switch off. They're constantly optimizing. They're always doing the really converting tasks like getting people on my email list, getting people to apply for my programs. And so I honestly could not live at this point without ads. And if you are not running ads, if you are not generating 300 to 500 new email subscribers into your list, into things like your webinars every month, or you don't know exactly how to do that, that's a core bottleneck in your business and probably a core reason why your launches really aren't converting or growing in the way that you want. So right now, as of yesterday, we just started a 14-day challenge within our mastermind to support day by day all of our mastermind clients to get everything set up and sorted for their pre-launch / lead gen over that Christmas period. And right now, we've just passed Black Friday, the most expensive time for ads. We're coming into, or right now, as of today, Tuesday, when I'm recording this, so it's the day after Cyber Monday, we're now in one of the cheapest times to run ads. So if you are not doing it, you need to prioritize it. We are currently accepting applications to join us in the mastermind. So officially, the cohort kicks off in February. So if you are looking for support for around that February time, we have a really great opportunity for you to apply and consider joining us now. So what will happen is officially your time with us, whether you sign up for 6 months or 12 months, commences in February, but we'll get you onboarded ASAP into our community and get you supported. We can hold your strategy call before the end of this year, or we can hold that in January or really, really quickly to be able to prepare that custom strategy and funnel for you and plan out your launches so you have that custom strategy and deep dive session with me. We also have an ads VIP day that the VIP clients in our mastermind receive. If you want to learn more about exactly what it would look like for you, come into my DMs, DM me, hey, I'm interested in the mastermind. Can you send me details? And we can definitely send you through all of the details about exactly what it is that we do in the mastermind. But lead gen through ads, especially when my kids have nearly 2 months off in this time of year. If I don't have a massive, social calendar batched out, that's fine because my ads are doing the heavy lifting for me. They're warming up my clients, they're entering them into pre-launch. It's all happening on autopilot. The next thing that I do is I stack end of year sales. So from about October or even September, I kind of go on a bit of a launch/invitation spree. I'm working with my clients to invite them to re-sign. I am opening applications to join us in the mastermind. I'm running launches. I usually run something for Black Friday that isn't just a discount fest. So I am constantly stacking at the end of the year sales and also into January. Something that we do in the mastermind is what I call a double dip strategy, where, you can kind of see it in action as I'm inviting you to apply for the mastermind, is that we will have some form of cohort that begins middle of January to early February. But then we're incentivizing people to join that from even November and really having those invitations. So right now in December is an exceptional time in business. A lot of people take their foot off the pedal and go, okay, no worries. And if you are doing that, you are missing out on one of the most lucrative times of the year. Everybody's looking at what they had planned to achieve in 2025 and then what they intend to achieve in 2026. So they're in that mood of planning, executing, considering what support they need. So wherever you are, whatever your niche is, consider that that's the mindset that your Cloud9 clients have. And you should be stacking those end of year sales and then beginning of year sales right now. And props to you if you have an offer that is built around monthly recurring revenue. When you land in a new year with 50 to 100,000 or more recurring revenue locked into your calendar, that does something to your nervous system in terms of the way that you go into your Christmas break with your family, feeling rested, regulated, feeling very easy breezy about coming into the new year. It's the best feeling ever, and I want that for you. Number 3, it is my toxic trait sometimes, but I try very hard not to recreate any wheels. So by and large, I'm trying to rinse and repeat a lot of my webinars because I have this one transformation that it is that I support people with. A lot of my webinars are very similar in what it is that I teach. I have, this core offer, the Peace and Profit Mastermind. We've had a name change. We've had, up levels and iterations. Oh my God, inside the container is so different to what it was, 4 years ago. But I've had this one offer now for coming into its 6th year. 6th year. And so I try very, very hard not to really recreate any wheels. And 2026 is absolutely a year when it is a double down year. It is literally double down year. I will be unstoppable and I know it. And then number 4, and this is a hack we went through in the mastermind just last week. We went through a 2026 planning session and then we worked through in Slack all of the planning with our mastermind is what worked, what didn't work. We went through our sales forecasting and revenue mapping for the year. We looked at what are the offers that are, working for us that we want to promote. What does our launch cycles look like? We mapped that all out in details. We also went through our budgeting. And the very first thing that we do that makes everything easier for anyone who is a mama, we plan our entire year around school holidays. And lots of people don't do this and then regret it later. So I will start by plugging in the dates of all of the personal things that are happening and the times when I might be at a lower capacity. So what do the school holidays look like? So therefore, then I have that context of, okay, well, how do my launches shift and evolve based on that? What are the actual holidays that we might be going on? So I don't want to obviously be running a webinar when I'm on a plane or running a webinar 2 days into the school holidays if I don't have support already locked in. So there's an organizational piece around that, that I'm scheduling my launches and my big workloads around school holidays first so that everything can fit into the calendar. So those are the 5-ish things that I do to take time off in my business and not lose momentum. I'm so intentional. I think I said that 3 years ago, I massively dropped the ball in that December-January period. I didn't have anything running. I didn't have any launches going. Ended the year feeling really exhausted instead of feeling like I still had energy in the tank, especially to be with the kids, and didn't have anything. And I really saw the impact of that going into the beginning of 2023. So it was the end of 2022. I had burnt out. I didn't have anything running. I left everything too late. And it took me almost until June to feel like I had caught up. And I'm sure if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that marketing is a lagging indicator. If you want sales in February, what you do now is what makes the difference. So you have to be setting up your sales for the new year right now. And if you don't know how to do that, if you do not have consistent leads coming into your business, then it is my pleasure to invite you to apply for the Peace and Profit Mastermind. If you are an expert service provider, but you really want to build out your recurring revenue, your one-to-many programs, this is the space for you. And I'm currently taking applications. Anyway, please make sure you're subscribed. I have some epic episodes coming up in the next couple of weeks, and I cannot wait to take you behind the scenes of all of the things, what we're planning for next year, what worked, what failed this year. I'll see you next week. Bye.